Hey guys, Jaden here. Welcome back to another video episode. Hope you're enjoying the series so far. And in this episode, what I'm going to do is we're going to carry on with the optimization. We have already done the page titles and meta descriptions. So in this video, I'm going to do content optimization. So we're going to first start off with auditing the content first, and then see kind of like where's the benchmark, and then followed by content optimization, and then finally internal linking. So hopefully I'll be able to cover all of them in today's video. Hopefully it'll be under an hour. But yeah, I just want to show you in terms of how to optimize content so that your content can rank better. And there's a few tools that I use. And yeah, let's get started. So firstly, I think we're gonna I'm gonna use this homepage as the example. And the keyword that we're trying to go after is funeral services in Singapore. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to the URL, and I'm gonna go over to Surfer. So Surfer, it's I've been using Surfer for a very long time. Yeah, it's a really good tool. And yeah, I just like the tool. So I'm gonna show you how I usually use it. If you are creating, if your website already has content, then you want to use more of the audit function. But if you have if you don't have content already and you are planning to write one, then you'll be using the content editor a lot. So I'm going to be using both. So firstly, the number one thing that we need to do is to do content audit first. So what we're going to do, right, is we're going to go over to the content audit. We're going to paste in the URL and then the main keyword. So in this case, I'm going to go and copy this link address, paste it in here. So you want to paste the link, the URL here. And then for keywords, which we already have it here, funeral services in Singapore, we're going to paste it here. So results, you obviously want to select whichever market that you are targeting. And then for crawler type, this depends on where majority of your customers will be seeing, right? So if you run an e-commerce store, most visitors will be from the mobile, and so you want to select mobile. And for desktop, if let's say you run a B2B software or any kind of B2B based, your majority of the people that are going to your website or your brand is targeting uses the desktop a lot, then you want to select desktop. So for me, I'm actually not sure. One way of how you can check, I mean, if you're in a market, you should know where your visitors are coming from. But if you don't, then you can use a simple tool like Google Search Console to kind of give you an idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just filter this by country, because the main country that we are working in is in Singapore. You can filter this out to whichever country that you're working in, Malaysia, US, UK, whatever. Right, and then over here, you just want to go over to devices. Okay, so this is for the last 3 months. So you can see for the last 3 months, most of the impressions are coming from desktop. Okay, so which is kind of interesting. Actually, there isn't much of a split, because I still think it's relatively close. So for mobile and for desktop, in this case, I'm going to select mobile. Even though the impressions for desktop is a lot more, I'm going to select mobile because there is not really a big differentiation here. And if there's no big differentiation, I want to default to mobile. Now do take note, it doesn't mean that when you see an impression that is small. For example, if you see, like, let's say desktop impressions shows a lot more than mobile, but you know and understand where your consumers are coming from, they are using mobile most of the time, then you want to select mobile, right? So make the best judgment for your own business or your own project. So I'm going to select mobile in this case. And then for sentiment, if you see over here, is just basically kind of adding the emotions to it. So you want Surfer to kind of give you a gauge of what they think is the emotion for the piece of content, whether if it's positive, whether if it's negative or neutral, right? So you can, if you want to, you can tick here. I generally don't want to, especially for commercial keywords. For informational based content, then I think playing with this sentiment will be will be better, because some informational content you can play around with the angle, but for commercial content it's there's less opportunity, or at least I don't know how to include in a positive sentiment around a keyword like funeral services in Singapore, right? So, and then what you want to do after this is you can include in more keywords, but I generally like to do just one, and then I just click create audit. So it's going to run for a while. In the meantime, just let me check whether the audio is working. So while this is going on, it's going to show us the content score of our website, our page. Well, essentially that's the same thing. Our page versus the rest of the competitors that are doing well, and kind of show you where it's lacking, and then give you some key words that you can include inside your content to kind of like optimize it. So yeah, while waiting for this, we can obviously like run through many of the other pages here, to be honest. So I like to basically do the same for all the keywords, and then just click on audit, and have it run all together at one shot. But since I'm showing this example, I'm just going to do it for this funeral services one, and then show you this example here. So yeah, I think once we have this already, it's probably gonna, it doesn't take too long. So that's good from our end. While waiting for this to load, okay, once it's loaded, you can click in, and this shows you a few things. Now, sometimes it takes a while to load, but there's supposed to be a graph here on the top hand, on the top of this content score. It shows you the content score of like the other main competitors. So I'm going to show you kind of like everything here. So you're going to see the content score here, obviously, like out of 100, the content score, the higher it is, the better it is. Internal linkings, and then these are what I mentioned earlier, the terms to use. So this is what they think Google is identifying these keywords as relevant to the main keyword that we're trying to target, right, which is funeral services Singapore. So it's sorted also by priority, so you can see like the relevance here. So obviously like 100% relevance means you want to include these keywords in, and then it slowly goes down to 90%, 70%, and then finally like 10%. Right, and it also tells you how many times to add, should you be adding, should you be removing, right, and whether if it's all good. And then in this case, like you can see sometimes it tells you to remove one, sometimes it tells you to remove two, or add and remove. So it's pretty handy, especially if let's say you're giving it to a writer, you can get them to do this for you. And then there's a couple of things that is included, but I generally don't look at a lot of the rest of the stuff. I only look at the content score, the terms, and also the word count. So the word count, it's basically a rough idea of how many words they think you should have on your page to compete with the rest of the competitors. So you can see it's telling us to add 841 words to around 1,900 words in the body, because currently we have only 402, whereas the rest of the competitors have like 2,000, 1,002, 500, and things like that. So this is where I like to look at the rest, like all these header ones and stuff. I don't look at all this exact keywords. All this I also don't pay attention to it. Partial keywords, I also don't pay attention to it. I don't like to get lost in the rest of the elements here. I think I may be missing something out, but it's not that important for me. And then if you follow the meta description and the meta titles kind of like guideline in the last video, you shouldn't have any problem with this. The next thing I like to do is I like to take a look at this time to first byte and load time, just to see its performance for the speed, right? How fast does it take to load? and this is basically how much time it takes to load the first byte. So as long as this tool is okay, it's fine. But if it's showing me, it is taking a lot of time to load, then what I will do is I will then conduct a page speed analysis. Okay, but I wouldn't use this just as a page speed analysis to analyze the page speed, because this primary tool, I'm only using it for content optimization. So all these are good, but one important thing is before you go on to knowing whether these benchmarks are good or not, you want to kind of like guide the benchmark. And how you can do that is go over to this settings section here, and this allows you to select the competitors. Now, what Surfer does is it gives you the suggestion of what they think the most relevant competitors are, but it's not always accurate. And I like to select my own organic competitors. So what I like to do is I like to look at brands or businesses that is almost the same as mine, right? Which means they are in the same space as me, they are offering the same kind of services as me. These are what I think will be the best organic competitors to include in when we are doing this kind of benchmark. So for example, this is a same business offering the same kind of service. I do want to take them, and you can see here, for example, this is another one which is it's not included based off on Surfer. I don't know why they never include this, but I would like to include this. This is also another direct competitor, this is also another direct competitor, and this is also another direct competitor. Now if you take a look at this, for example, this is a government website, and this is not a direct competitor. This is also not they are not offering, I mean, they are not a direct, they are a competitor in a sense, because they also offer the same kind of services, but they are a government site, right? So they are not the same like a private or a small business, right? This is a government site, so I don't want to include this in. And then you can see, obviously you can include in a lot more, but you can see this is selected right earlier on, but this is not the same. This is a website that is an aggregation of the top 5, and if you open this up, you can see this is not a business that's offering the same service as us. So I don't want to take this. Okay, I only want to take the most relevant ones. So obviously, like this, I think could be, this could also be, but I like to look at, if I have the top 5, I just want to take a look at top 5, right? So I already have 5, okay, and what I'm going to do is I am going to just select this 5, and then once you kind of like rearrange and select your organic competitors, then I just want to click let's go. So sometimes this changes. Yeah, so this is the graph that I talked about earlier on. Yeah, so you can see this is us here, and then the suggested range is here between 60 plus to 100, right? So as long as we can hit our content score in the 70s, I think we are good to go, right? So this shows us where the benchmark is. Okay, so this is how you kind of like know if your content is on point or how far away it is away from your competitors. And then what you do is essentially you go over to your content on the page, right? Where is it? You go over to the page, and then you basically edit in, like, follow the instructions here, whether if it's add 2 words, add 1 word, and things like that. So one caveat to this is you want to be a little bit cautious, because you don't just want to keep adding in words and the content doesn't make sense anymore. Okay, so now let me go over to actually let me just copy this and then just save this here first. Okay, I'm just going to paste it in. Okay, and then every time when you change your content and you update already, what you can do is you can click on this refresh audit, and this will basically crawl your page again and then show you the updated results. And that's how you can do it, right? So if you are writing content from scratch, then you can use the content editor here. So I'm going to use the content editor here because this is where we want to add the content, right? So if you already if you already have content, you can import the content from a URL. If you don't, and you are creating a brand new piece of content, then you can use the content editor and basically write your content in the content editor because it's going to be very, very easy to use, which I'll show you later on. So in this case, what we do is we just type in the main keyword here, okay, and then import content from URL, and we're just going to paste the URL that that we want to rank for, and then this is the same, right? And then here we can just create. Okay, so it's going to crawl the main page, and then it's going to show us where we are lacking. And I think with the AI credits, I've messed around with AI credits a little bit, not just for this software, but for other softwares as well. And if I believe with Surfer right now, they have some new features where we are able to auto-optimize the content. So in the past, what I used to do is I used to hand off those audits that I've done earlier, right? I used to hand off all these audits to writers, and the writers will go in and then do the optimization and changing it. And then if let's say they have an in-house writing team, I'm going to send it over to the founder, and then the founder will send it to their in-house writing team to get the things done, and then they can own self recheck the benchmark to see whether they are they hit the benchmark or not. So that's the previous way of how we do it. And I think with Surfer they have like a new, I'm not sure if they have a new optimize or auto-optimize content feature, and I'm not sure how good it is because with all these content too, I haven't found one that is really, really outstanding. And maybe I haven't played around with that much, but yeah. So you can see so they have this auto-optimized available, which I think they can auto-optimize the page here. So you can see all of these are being crawled from the actual page itself. All right, all of these are crawled from the actual page itself, and the formatting is all over the place. This is if you do the import section, and what I want to do is I just want to clean all this up. Okay, so we handle everything, so you can see this is the main this is the main first fold here. So you can see let me show you the clear-cut example. So you can see this is the header one, and then the headline, and then the main three benefits, and then you can see like these are the main benefits here, and then here's the menu, and then these are basically the testimonials. Now I'm not sure if I want to keep all this here. The reason why is because if I want to click on auto optimize, it's going to hopefully, I don't think it's that advanced, but I don't want it to optimize the testimonials because the testimonials are things that we cannot change, right? The thing that I do want to optimize here is this section here, because I know this is the about us section, right, over here. And then again, this testimonial I cannot change testimonial, so I'm going to remove all those that we cannot change. Okay, so this part we can change. I'm going to just remove all this here, all these images, and you can see every time when I change something, you can see the score here changes as well. Okay, and I'm going to remove all these testimonials because I don't want to change the testimonials. This section here I also don't mind to let the server see what it can come up with. So I'm interested to see how the auto optimize feature works as well. But in the past, what we used to do, or at least what the writers used to do, is, let's say for example, funeral services Singapore, you can see 0 to 1 time. So we have used 0 times. If I were to add in funeral services Singapore, this thing gets highlighted and it's good. It's in range now, right? However, if I were to add in 5, you can see now it's over optimized, right? And we are told to remove it. We are told to remove, or we are told to keep it in range. So if we do keep it in range, it's going to show something like that, right? So that's how you would do it. And again, we just go down the main, we try to include in as many keywords as much as possible. And every single time when you do something, it's going to move up the score. So there's a few ways of how I like to use it. I don't just want to include in the keywords. I want to have a balance of making sure that the content is for human beings as well as for the algorithm. So you can see here, for example, funeral services Singapore. This is not a this doesn't make any grammar sense at all, right? It should be funeral services in Singapore, but if I were to add in this keyword, it's not going to make grammar sense, and I don't want to have this here. And the reason why is because, you know, it doesn't make sense. I don't want to, as much as possible, I don't want the content to it's going to be read by human beings, and I don't want it to be, I don't want it to have any grammar mistakes, if that's if that makes sense. So that's how I like to use it. And sometimes when you see, I don't want to make sure that the content is 100 out of 100, because most of the time, if your content is 100 out of 100, it's going to look very, very forced, right? Your content is going to look very wonky, and I don't want to have that. So as long as the benchmark I always set out, it's at least 70, right? Wait, I believe it was 70 or 75, I forget which one was it, but it needs to be a minimum 70. And then how much we optimize it for depends on the competitors. So earlier on, I showed you how to see the competitors. And again, if you're using this editor, right, we can do the same thing, right? We can change and only select the competitors that we want to see. Okay, in this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example, right? Just this 5. And then you can see their content score here, right? 64, 64. I like to look at the highest. Okay, and the highest is 64. So if you have a content score of 70, you are pretty much safe, because the rest of the competitors are around the 64 range. However, if you see like a competitor, it's having a content score of, let's say, 80, then we want to push the content score up to at least the 80, because then we want to be able to compete, right? But as long as the benchmark is 70 and above, I think that's generally okay. How far you want to push it depends on how competitive your competitors are. Okay, so that's how I like to use it. Yeah, and I think, let's see, let's see whether can I try the auto optimize section here. I've not tried it before, but let's try it. Yeah, let's see how good it is. I'm not seeing. Okay. So this is already optimized. Okay, so it went up to a 61. Okay, let's see. Yeah, can I see what changes they have made? We handle funeral arrangements, so you can. Actually, this is okay, but I would like to see what changes they made before that. Is there any way that I can see it, or is this? Yeah, I'm not able to see it, right? So let me just do this. We handle everything, so you can focus on saying goodbye. Yeah, actually this is okay, but this is because this is the headline. I don't know whether you want to make it too long. Yeah, transparent pricing, clear upfront pricing. You know, our funeral packages cater to a range of needs and budgets, including direct cremation options. Okay, so they expanded this. What I would like to see is like, what has been added or what has been removed, if possible, but I don't think I can see it here. So peace of mind, planning, comprehensive guidance through every step of our funeral packages include direct cremation service. Like, yeah, this is not, yeah, it's not. Okay, what is this? Young bereavement services for bereaved families. What is this? Experience? Previous? What's going on? Oh, okay, so header 2 is the paragraph. We understand that saying goodbye to a loved one is a deeply personal and emotional experience. We provide support to bereaved families, including assistance with obtaining. I'm not sure if this is. Yeah, based in Singapore, our funeral service is dedicated to providing dignified. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, but here's the thing. It removes the context of the business, or it removes the context of the brand. Let's say, for example, this has been added, right? And obviously this is a keyword that they want to try to include. But what if the business or the brand doesn't offer this service, right? So we don't want to add in content for the sake of adding in the content to make sure to hit the content score. And so that's why, like, having a person to work on the content is actually important, because the content needs to be accurate. All right, so we prioritize the situation, ensuring that the entire process is smooth, comforting. Yeah, but a lot of these I can use. A lot of these I actually can use. Transparent quotations, detailed walkthrough and funeral planning, thoughtful recommendations, in-person meeting. So the most bit has been changed here and here. Right, so I think this is okay, to be honest. Did they change anything here? Let me see. Casket choices and collection, embalming and funeral day services, Buddhist rituals and decorations, venue setup, sanctuary offerings. Yeah, so they didn't change anything here. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can try with this arrangement, because this score is 61, right? So we went from 28 to 61. Just not too bad. Yeah. I'm gonna try to change it. Let's see. So we handle funeral arrangements. So it's gonna be too long, right? So if I include this in, look, it's gonna be too long. So I don't think I want to change this. Yeah, and then over here, okay, let's just see whether this is also going to be too long. Yeah, see, it's going to be too long. Yeah, so I think what I want to do, right, it's for those places that I don't want content to change, I'm not going to include it in here. Yeah, so I'm going to do this, because I think this section here we can change it. Saying goodbye to a loved one is we provide support to bereaved families, including assistance with obtaining. In Singapore, our funeral service is dedicated to providing dignified response files. We offer comprehensive support and coordination for every funeral arrangement, ensuring that all funeral arrangements are handled with care and attention to detail. Could bring compassion, thoughtfulness, and bereavement service support. Our funeral director plays a crucial role, known for their expertise, and we also offer repatriation. This section here, I'm not sure if I want this. Yeah. Our commitment to providing dignified farewells is reflected in a Singapore funeral service. Yeah, this is okay. And then what I can do is I can just basically update this. Let's see. Yeah, I can update this. And then I can go back to this audit. Okay, restore the original. And now I just want to see how far are we away. So we were 20 plus before that. While I was waiting for it to load, can I get it to re-optimize again? Yeah, I can get it to re-optimize again. Okay, so this time what I want to do, right, is I want to remove this entire section here. Okay, and then let's see what do I get from this. Yeah, let's see what do I get from this. Is it going to add in headers for me? That's it. Okay, so it's not that good. Yeah, it's not that good. So I think alternatively, right, what we can do is if it's based off on how the kind of similar to how other content tools work, I will have to give it different headers. So for example, this is a header, and then funeral packages, right, and then XXX, and then XXX, and then get it to auto optimize. I think that would be better. But I'm just gonna see. Yeah, so 64 is the highest. Let me just recheck this, and if not, we can just change it manually. It's fine. And also, I want to balance it so that we don't add in like way too much content. Like, to me, this is also a little bit of a stretch because it's a lot of words. All right. So if I will need to add in more content, I'll probably have a FAQ section here. So FAQ is where I like to balance answering questions and including written content. Okay, this is weird. This is still showing me 30. Yeah. This is weird. It's still showing me 30. Funeral services, this is funeral services. And that this has, okay, 1. It's supposed to read 1. Right? So I don't think it's crawling good, because this funeral services we are supposed to have 1. Or maybe it's because of the cache. I need to clear the cache first, maybe. Let me just update it again. Maybe I have a caching plugin. I don't believe in one click and then you can get like a quality product. And so you have to do some kind of like edits and optimize. Like, you have to spend a little bit of time still, even though it's already it helped with cutting down a lot of time. But with all this optimization, you have to put in a little bit of effort to make the small changes. So yeah, it already has. Is there a caching? Yeah, I don't think they have cache here. Okay, let me just re-crawl it again. See whether it picks up, because funeral services is definitely included in here already. Yep. Okay. So yeah, so now it's refreshed, right? So you can see 1. Okay. So we are 46, so we are not too far apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in manually. And I think because we are so near to the benchmark, right? 60, like I mentioned, I like to go for 70. So if I can, I'll go for 70, but I don't want to sacrifice like the page experience for hitting the content score, if that makes sense. So funeral services, I can include one more here. So we understand it by saying goodbye. We provide support to funeral services. Funeral service. Okay, so funeral services. Let's see, where can I add in here? Clear and upfront pricing, no hidden cost. I can actually add in here prompt, immediate response, prompt service, comprehensive guidance through every step of the comprehensive guidance through every step of the process. Including assistance with obtaining blah blah blah. Our funeral service business is dedicated to ensuring that all funeral arrangements are arranged with care. Our team I mean, I can include in here actually our funeral services team is okay, that is one down. I need to add one more. Our funeral blah blah blah, we prioritize your situation, ensuring that our commitment to providing dignified farewells is reflected in our Singapore funeral services. Wait, that's 2 already. It's okay. And then this is good. Packages, do I have package? I don't have. Actually, I can add in a header here. Can I? Nah. Transparent pricing. Clear enough on pricing, no hidden or unforeseen. I really don't want to change this part here because if there's any section that I don't want to sacrifice the copy for, is this hero section. I don't have much space though. I can only cram the content in here, which I'm not sure if this is a really good idea because it's already getting very long. Let me see if I can still add in to loved ones, including assistant. We provide support. Is dedicated to providing our funeral service business and funeral packages. Our funeral service business and funeral packages is dedicated to providing dignified and respectful. Okay. Singapore Funeral Group. This will be very difficult to add in because this is, I don't know how I'm gonna include this in. Commitment to dignified farewells is reflected in our Singapore Funeral Services. I'm kind of forcing it already. Funeral directors, I have it already. Funeral service providers. I'm not sure if I want to. Funeral wake. Okay, I can add in funeral wake for sure, I think. I may. The easiest way for me to do this, right, is to add in a FAQ. I know that will be the easiest, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. Dignified funeral service. I believe I can add this in. Dignified. Is dedicated to providing dignified Funeral service business and funeral packages is dedicated to providing respectful farewells. Can I change this around? Respectful farewells and dignified funeral service. Yeah, dignified funeral service, funeral wake service packages, Buddhist funeral package. Can I add this here? Buddhist funeral package, Taoist funeral package, nah. Let's see, funeral parlor. Our funeral parlor. Yep, okay, that's one funeral service. Provides support. Let's see, we prioritize your situation, ensuring that the entire funeral service process is smooth. Okay, I think I've added in quite a number of cascade services. Maybe we can add in cascade. Yeah, I'm pushing this part already. There's kind of like a fine balance, between just purely SEO and experience, user experience, customer experience, funeral wake. And our funeral directors, okay, let me just update this and then see where we are. Let me just update this and then see where we are. So now we are at 46, right? So we went from like 28 or 30, right, to 46. So this is decent, right? Let me just refresh again. This should increase to 51, okay. Decent. So I think we just need to include in maybe 2 or 3 more terms. Okay, funeral services, we have to add this in somehow. Can I add this in here? 24/7 immediate response, prompt funeral services. Okay, let's just add that in. Singapore Funeral Group. I think it's going to be difficult for me to add this in. Funeral services providers. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. Funeral wake, I may be that. Wait, I already add this dignified funeral service in, have I not? Wait. I thought I added this. Oh, okay, it was the wrong spelling. Okay. Cascade services. Okay, I think I can add in cascade services. I think I can add in wake and cascade services somehow. And I don't think yeah, this section here, right, I don't expect you to read it. Cascade services, I think I can add in cascade services somewhere here. Our commitment to providing dignified farewells is reflected in our funeral service. See. Crucial in going into the process, known for their expertise. Cascade. For every funeral and cascade service. Yeah, I think I can add this in here. We offer comprehensive support and continuation for every funeral arrangements and cascade services. Okay. I just want to add one more here. Funeral wake. Including funeral wake assistance. No. Yeah. This is not the same meaning. And funeral wake. Yep. Okay, let's update this and see where we are. And then, in terms of like the words, right? I usually like to be in range with the words. However, that it's also dependent on the competitors. So you can see like the first and the second position have 1,500 average words. Ideally, I would want the website to be at this place, but in order for me to do that, I will need to add in either a FAQ or boost up this page, which I will need to get a lot of information from the business owner, which I'm not sure if I want to at this moment in time, because it's going to take a lot of time, and this friend of mine is really busy, and I'm not sure when I can sit down with him and then get all this information from him. And so I'm going to use whatever that I can to essentially get the most results. So yeah, let's see the score now. We are up to 58, so this is pretty decent. And I just want to go there and see funeral service packages. Actually, I can include the packages in here. Yeah, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. Funeral services in Singapore. Okay, I think I can add this in. I think I can add this in for sure. Funeral services, yeah. So our funeral services in Singapore. Nah, it's in our Singapore funeral services. Okay, let's see. Prom funeral services. I think I can add this in here. Immediate response, prompt funeral services in Singapore. I don't like the wording of this, but for now it's gonna work. It has to do. Funeral parlors, nah, I'm not gonna add this in. Entire process, I think I can add this in for sure. I just saw a process. Yep. Okay, I think I'm done, because the rest is like 90% and stuff. So I'm gonna update it. This should put us in the range of 60, which is, I think it's better than what we did before. All right, so again, I'm gonna hit refresh. Hopefully it's able to crawl, but as long as, even if it doesn't go up to 60, I think I'm okay with it, because again, I don't want to sacrifice like the copy. Like even now, this copy is it's huge. Like I don't think people will be reading this. All right, so yeah, I don't want to sacrifice the user experience for just for the sake of the copy of the words, just for the sake of adding in keywords. All right, so however the score is, I'm gonna be satisfied. So now we are at 61, so we are better than the first competitor, which is okay already. So I don't want to push it. All right, so this is good. Now the next thing I want to do, right, it's I want to kind of do internal linking. However, in the homepage, I already have internal linking here, right? So you can see this is an internal link. This is an internal link, internal link, internal link. So I will do more internal linking within the actual services page. Okay, and in fact, I don't know if there is much internal linking for me to do because all of these are commercial content. All of these are commercial content. There is a lot more opportunity if we have a lot of informational based content, and we can link from those informational based content to the commercial content. But because our website currently only has like commercial content, commercial pages, so I don't think I'm gonna go. I don't think there is a lot of opportunity for me to do internal linking here. So yeah, essentially how you do it is actually very simple, right? If you see, let's say for example this page, let's say my home page. Okay, I want to basically internal link to the most important pages I have, which is under services. You can see all of these are my packages, right? So Buddhist, Catholic, and all of this. What I want to do is make sure that the homepage is linking to all these pages, and also at the same time, I want to have the internal link as the main anchor text. So in this case, the anchor text, this is the whole, kind of like the whole element here. But if you are going to be linking out, let's say for example here, right? Check out our Buddhist funeral packages. Okay, and then this is the exact anchor text you want to use to internal link out to your Buddhist services page, right? So for example, like this is what you want to do, right? But this kind of opportunity happens more when you have a lot of pages. But because the site that we're working on, we are very heavily focused on services page. I don't have a lot, because the rest of the pages on the homepage, we are already internal linking out to the all the rest of the pages. And then within like the services page, there isn't much opportunity for us to link out. There isn't much opportunity for us to link out to the homepage. Actually, we can link out to the homepage. Yeah, so if we see, okay, one thing, actually this is a good segue. So I'm going to do site colon this, and then I'm going to do funeral service. Okay, what's going to do, right? It's going to look at, what is this? It's going to look at all of my pages and give me which page have this exact word in it, which is funeral service. Okay, so okay, we do have to remove these pages because this is not oh, okay, this is removed. It's just that because I'm in the admin, this is no longer here. Okay, so these old pages take some time to be removed. So you can see here we provide complete funeral service. Okay, so over here, funeral service. Okay, so what I want to do, right, it's I want to go and edit the page here. And funeral service. Yep, funeral service. Okay, and I want to internal link it to the home page. Okay, and the reason why I want to do that is because the homepage we're trying to rank for funeral service. Okay, and I don't need to have a lot, just one will do for each page. Okay, so that's one, and then if I go to this is the old page, this is the old page, Catholic funeral services. Yeah, so this one will be more difficult because it's saying that this is Catholic, right? Also doesn't have. You offer complete funeral service, okay. Okay, the Hindu one will have, I think, funeral service. Okay, doesn't have. Yeah, and so that's how I will do internal linking. But because like I mentioned, there's very little opportunities, which is unfortunate because I won't be able to show you guys how to do it. But essentially that's how I will do it. So you can start off with like this, and then you can include in different variations. So I can do funeral services, and then I can just go in and see, you know, of the pages, which pages I can link it to. And then some of the pages, obviously, in the previous episode I already mentioned, we haven't developed this, and that's why they are showing up. And then you can do like open inverted commas. Yeah, but this is going to show you like meta description, which is not that useful. So yeah, that's how you do it. So what I think I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to optimize all the content for the rest of the important pages here. So all these separate services. And guys, remember, every time when you optimize something already, what you want to do is you want to ping Google. So in this case, we have edited the main homepage here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in here. And I'll get Google to basically inspect this URL, right? So here, click on request indexing. It's going to ask Google, it's going to ping Google to take a look at this page that you have just made changes on, so that they can reflect any kind of changes earlier. Right, so that is done for this. Hopefully it's done. Yeah, so that's done. So if we go over to the rankings, right, we still are not showing up actually for the homepage is still not showing up for the main keyword that we're trying to go after, which is funeral services. Yeah, but the rest of the services page are showing up for, like, you know, the page that we're trying to target. So this is irrelevant. Yeah, so hopefully with that change, it's going to show some kind of improvements. Okay, so that's about it for this episode. If you watch until here, you know, if you like this kind of content, if you like to, you know, be notified whenever there's a new episode that comes up, please hit the subscribe button. And if you really watch until this far, just hit the subscribe button because you enjoy content like this, right? And I suppose you do, as an assumption. I'm not sure. But if you like the video, help me press and click on the like button and let me know any questions you have. Leave your comments down in the comment section. I respond to all of the comments. And yeah, that's about it for this episode. I will see you in the next episode. Cheers.